For the debate, the member for York-Simcoe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I'm pleased to join the debate on Bill 105, which amends the Employer Health Tax Act. Last week was Small Business Week, and it is fitting that we're discussing a bill that attempts to relieve the burdens which this government has placed on them. Having been the small business and red tape critic for our party in the past, I know what difficulties these businesses face, and to be frank, this bill does not achieve nearly enough in the way of assisting small businesses. This bill moves the bar of eligibility for business from $400,000 to $450,000. It does nothing to relieve the burdens which continue to hamper our economy and restrict job creation. In fact, I think the benefit can be calculated after taxes to represent about $850. Small and medium-sized businesses are the backbone of our economy, as they represent 99% of all Canadian companies and employ nearly two-thirds of private sector workers. In 1996, when our party introduced amendments to the employer health tax, we designed it with small businesses in mind. Our strategy focused on minimizing the burdens on small business. In contrast, this government is looking to provide some relief through this tax exemption, but it is in turn shifting the burden to larger businesses so that those who make the $5 million plus will have to pay more. In essence, what they are giving to one, they are taking from the other, and this hardly makes for a prosperous Ontario. The short title of the bill is called Supporting Small Business Act, but the irony is that there is little in this for Ontario's small businesses. Our party has put forward over 200 ideas that will help strengthen our economy, create jobs, and rein in government spending. However, this Liberal government is continuously seeking to move forward with their destructive job-killing policies. The list of burdens for small businesses is a long one, and this bill does little to address the problem. For example, there is the increasing power cost for both on and off-peak pricing. While consumers can adjust their uses at home, small businesses have little ability to do so. And now, where they may have been able to shift their use, this government is hitting them with an increase in off-peak pricing. Then there is the costly College of Trades tax hike, which is driving young people away from the industry where this province is experiencing shortages. This government brought Bill 119, the Workplace Safety and Insurance Amendment Act. This forces small business owners to pay WSIB premiums for themselves. And now they've floated this idea of introducing an Ontario pension plan, which will further increase the cost for these businesses by doubling their payroll tax. For each of these, I think of individual people in my own riding who have come to me to complain about some of these examples I've provided. You know, there's the pizza shop owner who has to use peak power. The trades tax and the young people. One of my own staff members' sons has moved out of the province and has reported the opportunities that are there for him, in this case in Alberta, that don't exist in Ontario. And a single employer business complained to me just recently about Bill 119 and how he can't afford to pay the kind of premiums that are being suggested. At the end of the day, the Liberal rationale for this bill is about as effective as rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. So before you dump Gatorade on yourselves and proclaim being champions of small business, you should take a look at your record. Let's look at recent data. The most recent Stats Canada statistics from 2011-12 have illustrated that Ontario has lost over 2,500 small businesses, more than 350 medium-sized businesses, and more than 300 large businesses. These amount to significant losses in our workforce and do little to put the over 500,000 unemployed individuals in this province back to work. I'd like to present to you an example from a constituent who contacted me with difficulties he is experiencing as a result of the policies this government has adopted in the previous Bill 119, which came into effect this year. He has a small construction company and is the only person who works within it. He has a bulldozer and works at an hourly rate. He subcontracts most of his work to other companies, and they can't pay him unless he has WSIB. What WSIB does is base their rates on his company's gross income and not his personal income. However, if he gets hurt, WSIB only pays him what his personal income is and gives him 85% benefits. This is how this government proclaims to help create jobs and stimulate the economy. He says, quote, "My customers will not pay a 7% increase, and I can't absorb this cost as well as the increased fuel costs lately. Please help me and other small companies," he says. Let me provide you another example of a constituent has a small business and is being burdened by the College of Trades tax. He says, excuse me, I quote, "This affiliation with this college will cost me $120 per year or more since I have both a motor vehicle mechanic license as well as a truck and coach mechanic license." He goes on to talk about how if he does not join the college, they will post his name for public viewing and publicly shame him to illustrate that he is suspended due to non-payment of dues. As a result, he will not be able to legally practice his trade or call himself a journeyman. He says, and I quote, "I successfully completed the specified college program and successfully achieved a certificate of qualification for my trade. I have achieved my college graduation, and as I understand it, this will be removed from me unless I pay this extortion demand." End of quote. How can this Liberal government stand before this legislature with a bill called Supporting Small Business Act when they have done just about everything but support small business? Bill 105 is just window dressing and does not address the real issues that small businesses face. I think it is safe to say that under this government, even Bill 105, the future for small business in this province is bleak. Where our party looks to stimulate our economy and create jobs, this government is more focused on driving them out, because even when they are perceived to help small business, they are not. And the people on this side of the House aren't fooled, and neither are small businesses.
Thank you very much. Questions and comments?